So today let's talk about how to make a animation for your logo. You can do this in After Effects or other editing programs, and I'm sure there's free ones online. Our subscription to Adobe includes After Effects, so that's a great program, but it can take a long time to do an animation. So I found this site that has a lot of free animations where you can just input your logo from Illustrator right into an animation and then kind of customize it yourself. But it has all the hard work kind of done for you. So this is mixkit.co, and I just look under templates, under After Effects, but you can see there's a lot of other program free logos as well, or free templates as well. And I went up here and I just typed in logo, and now I have all these different cool like videos that you could put like at the beginning of a YouTube video for yourself or like on your website. So we're going to make an animation today with our logo. So all I did is I click on this and then I clicked download free template, and it just downloads. You don't have to create an account or anything like that. And I'm going to go into my downloads folder, and it downloads as a zipped folder. So if you know anything about that, you're going to double click on it and you're going to click extract all. And that will decompress it and make it a normal folder. And so now if I go back into my downloads folder, I will see a version that is not zipped. So I'm going to go into that folder. And I'm just going to open up the folders until I see this little blue Adobe Illustrator, or I'm sorry, Adobe After Effects file. It's a little purple file here. I'm going to double click on it, and it's going to open it in Adobe After Effects. So you want to make sure that you have your logo created and then saved in as an Illustrator file from Illustrator, or if you're doing it from another program, make sure it's a transparent PNG. Either of those will work. And when you double click on that, you're going to, After Effects will open, and then you can just hit OK. You're going to have a couple pop-ups. I just hit OK until it loads. And this does use a lot of memory, so sometimes my computer will crash. This is just saying it's missing some fonts from the original logo. That's okay. Just hit OK. Okay, so this is how Adobe After Effects works. There's a timeline down here where you can watch the different parts of your animation. So if I just move this to the beginning and I press the space bar, it should start to play. And my computer's being a little slow. So this can be glitchy if it's not rendered. So it's moving a little bit slowly, the animation. It will move a lot faster once you're done with it and render it. And my computer's got low memory, so that's why it's doing that as well. Okay, but anyway, this is the timeline where you see it play out. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go down here into this little composition, and you can press the down arrow to see like what's going on and what kind of animations they've added. I'm going to double click on this little composition icon, and it's going to open up these other layers here. And you can see there's a logo placeholder. So I'm actually just going to double click on that. So I'm double clicking on the little these little icons. I'm just opening up a composition. What are these? Let's see. There's another there. Okay, so what I need to do, and I can see as I click through those, I can go back to those up here. So I started out with this, and then I double clicked on the little icon, and I got into here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and import my logo. So if I go to File, and I go to Import File, and I think you can drag it over too. Mine's on my desktop. And I'm just going to grab the Illustrator file and press Import. And you can import it as footage, merge layers. That's perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, this placeholder, double click, and I'm going to drag my logo in there. And I'm just going to turn off this one. I kind of leave that on sometimes to just like look at the size and things like that, because I can, oops, I'm going to Control Z. All the same key commands apply and things like that. I can click on my logo and like change the size and stuff if I need to. I kind of use this as my placeholder though. So now that I got it sized, I'm just going to turn that one off. And then I can click back here. And when I play it, my logo is now there. It's in the animation. Now this animation also has, it says glitch style logo. That's like, it's a subtitle. Like, so if you have like a slogan or something you want under your logo, that's in there as well. So you just kind of have to click through here. These are essentially like your layers. And I'm going to just double click. And oh, here's the text. You see it says it right there. So if I click on there, I should be able to just come over here. It's very tiny at this point. Actually, if I move along the time, there we go. It just took a second. Everything's a little bit slow. So now that this is here, I couldn't type something else. So I could say graphic design or something like that. And it's taking a second because it's just slow on memory. So this just uses a lot of programs. So there we go. So I just went in the layers here. Now to get back to where I was before, I have to go back up here. Now there's my text. It says graphic design, and then I can go back here. That's where I added that. So this is how it opened, and then I had to go click, click, and then I put my logo in this one. Double click on that little icon. I dragged it in here and turned off the other one. And then I had to step back. I had to go back up here. This is kind of my breadcrumb trail here. And then I had to go in and double click on this and then just change the font in there. And just give it a second to load. Now, when you're done, it is going to, I'm going to bring the little time bar back to the beginning of the timeline. And I'm going to press the space bar. And now I can see it play out with my logo. And it's being a little slow, but that's okay. Okay, so if I am happy with this, I've modified the different layers. I can go in and I can go to File, and I can export. And what I want to do is I want to add to render queue. And then when it comes down here, just ignore all this. I need to just leave these the same, and I need to double click on this not yet specified. Or I just clicked once. I'm sorry, I didn't double click. And I'm just going to call this cotton logo and. Okay, and we're going to save it as a QuickTime movie. That's fine. And I'm saving it right in my documents folder. Okay, so once that happens, then I've designated where I'm outputting it to. It's right here. It's going to save it as a .mov, which can easily be added to YouTube and things like that. But I have to click this render button. Otherwise, nothing will happen. So it's going to take a few minutes, sometimes just a few seconds, and it's going to render that for me. And then when it's done, I should be able to find it on my documents folder or in my computer in my documents. So see, it's going to take a few minutes because my computer's so bogged down. But there is the rendering of it. And then I also want to make sure if I want to come back and make changes, like I can go in and modify sizes and things like that later too. Make sure that you file and save as. It's ghosted out because it's rendering, but just save it as an After Effects file as well, an AE file, just so you have the working file that you can go in and make adjustments to when you're done. So I'm just going to let that render, and then it's going to save to my documents as a video file.